Do you live and breathe soccer? Looking for real, unfiltered takes on the world's biggest sport? Welcome to Soccer Unfiltered, the show where we break down the beautiful game without holding back. With your host, Carl Phillip, aka Coach, Dr. Joe, Coach Carlos, and Yonel. We tackle it all, from the rise of youth soccer in the US, to the biggest European leagues, to hot takes on global football news. Our crew has the insights and opinions that no one else dares to share. It's not just a podcast, it's the place where real soccer fans come together. Join us as we take you inside the game, unfiltered and unapologetic. This is Soccer Unfiltered, where the real soccer talk happens.
All right, welcome, JD. What's going on, my man?
Hey, welcome, Coach. Nice to see you again for another show. Yeah, it was a busy weekend of soccer, and I think we have a lot to talk about.
Yeah, we have a packed show tonight. So we got a couple things that we're gonna cover. Obviously, the MLS Cup has a new winner, so we're gonna cover that a little bit. Also, the MLS they have an MVP also as well too. And then this week, FIFA announced the different groups for the FIFA Club World Cup. Also, we had a thriller today between Chelsea and Tottenham, so we're gonna cover that a little bit, and then we're gonna finish with other news going on. And I got something for the viewers. We're gonna go down to the memory lane, but I will not reveal who we're gonna focus on tonight. So again, welcome, JD, Dr. Joe. You know, whatever we're gonna call you tonight.
Yeah,
How you doing today, man?
We're good. We're good.
All right. So let's get going. So we had a winner tonight. Not this week in the MLS. So our guys, LA Galaxy, won it. So LA Galaxy now is a new MLS Cup winner. They beat Red Bull New York 2-1. It was a good game. And then they play without Ricky Pugh, who also his ACL and the semifinal game. So when we looking at this game, obviously everybody had the eyes on Miami. Miami, they got bounced in the first round. So what do you think about LA Galaxy? How they came together as a team to win the MLS Cup?
So first of all, I would say, going back to the MLS itself, it's been a long and great season, that record-breaking season that is historical in many ways. First, you have Inter Miami, who broke the record for most wins for the regular season, and then the MLS that broke the records of attendance, second in the world behind the Premier League. And like you mentioned, to get to your point, is it was a great final between the Red Bulls of New York and LA Galaxy. So LA Galaxy, a team that started the season kind of a not a bad team in the beginning, but they have some struggles. But during the season, the team continued to improve, and especially with the former Barcelona player Ricky Pugh, and then now winning their sixth MLS Cup, and that's the first one in the last 10 years. I think the LA Galaxy, I would say, is the Real Madrid of the MLS, if you want, or the Bayern Munich, if you want to use any analogy. So it's a great team, great organization. Kudos to them. They, it's well deserved win. I think everybody was looking for Ricky Pugh to be the MLS Cup winner, but unfortunately he couldn't play because of the ACL turn, and then now. But at the end, they managed to beat the Red Bulls. Kudos to them.
Oh yeah, I mean it's well deserved. Obviously, Inter Miami was the darling, of the MLS. And then you mentioned something that is very important. It's funny that in 2024 we talk about the MLS as the second league when in terms to attendance after the EPL. It's over La Liga. It's over the Bundesliga. It's over the Italian league. So you have the MLS as the second best when it comes to attendance
Yes.
in the world. So this is big. This is big, and always still talking about the Messi effect, right?
Yeah, I think no, I think definitely there's an element of that impact that Lionel Messi brought to that league. But also, I can say over the last 10 years, if you look at it, it's the fastest growing league in the world. The way the teams are getting more professional, they're getting more better players, and then now we have it's becoming a strong league. And on top of it, so many tournaments now going in the US. You have the World Cup coming, you have the World Cup the Club World Cup coming, the FIFA World Cup in 2026. So yeah, it seems like the US is becoming the center for everything happening in soccer now, and I think it's good for the game. It's good for the sports, and definitely Messi adding his magic to that. It's a great thing for the US and for soccer in general.
So let's stay on LA Galaxy. So another player that also was a
Marco
was a
Marco
Big Ten
Rose.
player, Marco Rose, right? So it's crazy how talented he is, and also he played for a big club. This is his first time winning a league title. I mean, this guy
After
has been playing forever. So this is how cruel soccer can be, right? This is how cruel
yeah,
soccer can be.
and it's so crazy that the guy just got to the US 4 months ago, and
Yeah,
now he's winning his first MLS Cup. So
yeah,
it's amazing how I think it's well deserved also for him, for
oh
someone
yeah,
that has given so much to the game and then finally get that success. It's amazing. And as I can say, the LA Galaxy, it's a prime organization. Going back to so many great players, so many great signings that they have over the years.
yep,
And like I said, for me, it's the best team in the MLS when it
yeah. I mean, they
in
have the
history.
most
When you look,
titles. They have the most titles, and obviously it started with David Beckham, and then they have Lennon Donovan. They have
yeah, they have Mr. Bennett,
Ibrahimovic. They
they have
have
Brand Reeves,
Ibrahimovic.
they have so
Uh,
many players over the years. Yeah.
yeah. So yeah,
So
so it's crazy to me that when I was listening to Marco Rose talking after the game. He was doing his on-field interview, and then you could see the excitement in his voice. And when you think about it, this is his first time winning, you
winning
know,
something.
a title, and I was just like, man, this guy's been playing. This guy is a high level player, right? And
Yeah, he played, I think,
unfortunately, he's been hurt a lot. Unfortunately, he's been hurt a lot. He has a lot of injury. It's so funny that I mean, in 2014, I mean, he was supposed to be the guy, right,
right.
for Germany, and then he got hurt
Yeah.
before the World Cup. And as a fan, you feel bad for the guy. So anytime that he can I don't think he ever played a tournament for Germany because he always get hurt.
No.
But he's been a solid player, a world class player, and to realize that it's so funny when you looking at a guy like Dani Alves that have like 40 plus titles, right? And
43. Yeah.
yeah, he got 43 titles, and then you got a guy like Marco Rose, who's I'm not saying Marco Rose is so much better than Dani Alves, but it just to show you that in sports you have sometimes luck, be playing with the right team, the right time, and then you get the title. So he finally got his share by coming to LA Galaxy and then to win his first title. So I'm happy for him. He deserved it. I think that's great. I think that's great. You always, as a soccer
You know,
fan, you always go ahead.
Yeah, fun fact for viewers, you know why his parents named him Marco
After Marco van Basten.
after Marco van Basten. There
Yes,
was a
yeah,
big fan, and you know it's so funny that you know he's a great player too. But like you mentioned, never
right.
had the chance to really
To win
win something,
any
and then
title.
finally to see it at his age. So I think it's great.
Yeah, especially so that's why for young players, for young people watching this game, what is this today? Don't ever give up, right? This
Yeah,
the motto is don't ever give up. Even at the twilight of your career, you can still win something, right? You can still win something. So when you work hard, you put the time in. Always focus on putting the time in because the gods of soccer are going to repay you for putting. That's the epitome of it. Like a guy like Marco Rose who give himself to the game, who sacrificed so much for the game, and then that's a way for the god of soccer who came back to say, "Hey, you know what? You deserve a title." And guess what? I believe that when he started his career, he would never thought that he would win his first title
whenever.
in the U.S. in the U.S. But hey, that's part of it. He got his title, so he's gonna say that I'm gonna finish my career as a champion. So he's been a champion. So
He can claim it. Yeah.
so that's good. So you kind of mentioned Ricky Hughes. He was very. I mean, it's so crazy that this guy played the semifinal. He had an assist on a torn ACL, and then he tore his this year early in the
Yeah.
game, and he still played the game at a high level. I think this is unbelievable. So I mean, I feel like I mean, obviously, with the Messi effect, I'm glad. I mean, I'm glad to see that that other team are stepping up the games. They're playing at the highest level, but then they make the MLS fun. I mean, the MLS is fun to watch. If you would have asked me 20 years ago or 15 years ago to watch an MLS game, I would have said no. But now I think that they realize that what kind of product that they have, and the fans are excited about it. I mean, like I said, we just mentioned that earlier that the MLS is the second most watched league in the world after the EPL, even above La Liga and the French league, like Bundesliga, and the Italian league. I mean, the MLS is the second in the world. So kudos to the MLS. Hope they keep going. I'm glad that it's happening because we live here, our kids live here, and then to be able to see the MLS, and then the soccer fans,
Grow.
we love soccer, we love every soccer. To see the MLS going to that level, that's amazing. So speaking of the MLS, so obviously we had uh, the MVP. So and this guy, right? So he's the MLS MVP. So is the league is too over messy, man. I mean, I feel like the league is just like they want to just ride the Messi hotel. What's your take on it? Is he deserving to be
No,
the MLS
you
MVP?
know, I'm glad you brought that up because you know there's a lot of I would say a lot of people think that hey, you know, Messi, you know, as you know, has a lot of hatred toward his accomplishment, and that's one of the things people always think things are rigged in his favor. But if you look at that season,
Mhm.
Messi play almost, you know, almost half of the season, and then if you see is, you know, scoring 20 goals, right, with 10 assists for 19 matches. So definitely, I think it's well deserved. You know, nobody can deny what this guy did this year, not just for Inter Miami, like we were mentioning, but for the MLS to bring a team that was last year was
The
basically at the bottom
worst team.
at the bottom and then to bring them to glory like he did this year. So one thing also I wanted people to keep in mind is like, I know there's a confusion. People tend to look at the MLS like they look at the European leagues. So the MLS, you have the regular season, and whoever the team that wins the most point get the supporter shield, and the MVP, as we mentioned, is for the whole season.
Mhm.
Keep in mind, just for the MLS Cup, we have another MVP, which is Gaston Brugman, the guy from Uruguay. That was the MVP of the final. And we don't want people to get confused because, like I said, the MLS is a little bit different than the other leagues because the other leagues, whoever plays in the cup, they're not necessarily part of the league like it is in Europe. But the MLS has a special structure that's different than the European League. But I think Messi it's a well-deserved honor for him to win that MVP. Well deserved, because if you look at the other players, the number of games that they played, and the ratio, definitely Messi has the greatest impact in the MLS this year.
So, for viewers watching it, please drop a comment. Was Messi deserving of the MLS MVP? So, as Dr. Joe just explained, if we're going to looking at the MLS, it's the same. It's the comparison with the other big leagues that we have in the U.S., right? So, if you just got somebody that, if we take, for instance, the NBA, so you have what you call the NBA regular season MVP, right, or the NFL regular season MVP, and then when those guys go to the Super Bowl, and then you have the MVP of the Super Bowl or the MVP of the playoffs or of the finals. So it's the same structure that the MLS has. So you have the regular season MVP, and that's the title that Messi won. And Dr. Joe just mentioned that we have the MLS Cup MVP, which is a guy from Uruguay. So kudos to both guys. Obviously, I'm gonna restrain myself from making any comment because everybody gonna think that I'm a Messi homer. Everybody gonna think I'm a Messi homer, but I'm glad that Dr. Joe eloquently kind of say why Messi deserved to be the MLS MVP. But anyway, we're gonna keep moving. Dr. Joe, you still here?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you see me?
No, I cannot see you.
1 second. Let me see what happened. Okay.
All right, now you're back. All right, so next one is as Dr. Joe mentioned earlier, we have the FIFA Club World Cup next year. So just gotta show you. So this week, they had what you call the draw with all the teams. So I'm gonna kind of show the viewers how he came out.
Nice.
Big time, huh? So, obviously, my favorite team, Barcelona, will not be participating in it.
No.
So, it's heartbreaking, but this is exciting. This is exciting to see, to have all of those big clubs and all over the world, from Brazil, from obviously from the U.S., from Spain, from France, all those big teams participating on that. So there's a if Neymar stays for the team is playing, you might see a Neymar versus Vinicius Jr. because Neymar's team is in the same group as Real Madrid. So as you're looking at this tournament, and I mean, obviously all the Messi haters will keep talking. They give Messi an easy group, But I mean,
I would not say.
what's your take on the draw?
Yeah, I think if you look at it, it looks like if you're a fan of Inter Miami, you may think, oh, that's a good draw it was for Inter Miami. But one thing we have to keep in mind, we're talking about teams that are the best of their leagues. So regardless where they play, we're talking about some strong team, and I think it's going to be very interesting to see some matchups. So I think again, it's gonna be very fun. The only thing which is a little bit hard for me is because we will have the Gold Cup at the same time. But I think definitely if you look at the different groups, uh, I think it was a good draw for Inter Miami, but I'm interested to see what will happen with that group that has Real Madrid and Al Hilal Neymar's team, and also the group with I think it's one of the strongest group is the group of Bayern Munich with Boca Juniors and Benfica. So I think if you look at it overall, I think it's going to be very entertaining, especially for the US. We have two teams from the MLS we're representing in that World Cup. We have Inter Miami because they won the Supporters Shield trophy, and you have the Seattle Sounders that win the CONCACAF before, and then both teams will be there. So again, I think it's gonna be very entertaining. And for
Mhm.
those people who are a big fan of Messi, I think Inter Miami has a chance to make it out of this group. So, so I think it's gonna be very interesting.
So we'll see. Only time will tell. So we're gonna take a quick break, uh, and then we'll be right back in like two minutes.
All right.
All right.
All right.
Joe, I'm
Yep.
back.
All right. We're back. All right.
Back.
I don't see you yet, but I don't think, yeah. I can hear you.
Back. Hang on a second.
There we
All
go.
right, we
So,
back. Uh,
yeah, one thing I wanted to mention, talking about soccer fan, one of the team that will be part of the World Cup is Fluminense, my team in Brazil. So today was
yep.
the last day of the Serie A, and they managed not to go to relegation. It was a very entertaining game too, against Palmeiras. Yes.
All right. So today we had a doozy. Today, Chelsea with Tottenham, 4-3, big game. It was very enjoyable. I mean, obviously, as a soccer fan, to watch a game, with 7 goals is always it was always a great thing. So for me, what are the things that was important for you in that game when you
You know,
watch that game?
I have to tell you, I have a great interest in those two teams, Tottenham and Chelsea. And Chelsea, especially because it's a very young squad.
Yep.
The age average for the team is less than 24 years. So it's just to tell you they have a lot of talent. And one thing that I like about Chelsea is the fact that they play with two pivot guys. You have Enzo Fernandez and Lavia, the kid from Belgium. They'll play, they play very well in the midfield. And I think working together to break up opposition attacks, provide stability, and create numerical superiority. I think this team is still growing. I don't think this is their year, but I
Yep.
think this is the future of the EPL, because when you look at this team, Chelsea is a very great team. It's a lot of talent in the front. They have Palmer. What a
We're gonna
kid!
talk about him.
Yeah, what a kid! But I think in the beginning of the game, Tottenham was pressing very high,
Hmm.
but Chelsea was surprised by those two goals, early goals, and then they settled down and then they took over the game. So I think it was brilliant. And like I said, it's fascinating to see that team this year in the EPL. But like I said, they still growing, and I think wait a few years or maybe next year, this team will be more sensational.
Yeah, especially when you see Man City. Obviously, Man City has a lot of injuries this year. Losing Rodri this year was a
Big,
big
big.
miss, and then also the keeper. He hasn't been healthy. De Bruyne is finally came back. So I mean, they're not playing to their best, but I think this year it's a great year uh, for Chelsea to kind of, just like you mentioned, to kind of go. It looks like we lost Dr. Joe. So yeah, so just like Dr. Joe was mentioned, is this is a great year for them to kind of build up and then get the momentum because they're young. And as they get further on the season, and also those guys get more times to play with each other, so it's gonna make the team even bigger going into next year. So I believe that Chelsea had the right ingredients to be the next best thing in the EPL. And one thing I like about the EPL, it's the parity is very good. Just like Man City, even though Man City has been dominating the EPL, but when you look at it, you got Chelsea, now you got Liverpool is coming back to the way it used to be. Uh, Obviously, having Chelsea, Arsenal, they tied today 1-1, but having those teams playing to the highest level, so that's one of the reasons why the EPL is the most watched uh, league in the world. But we cannot talk about Chelsea what they did today and not talking about Cole Palmer. This
Cole
guy,
Palmer.
Cole
Cole
Palmer,
Palmer.
look at yeah, he's. I mean, when you look that's the stats for today, right? And they
Yeah.
score. I mean, Cole Palmer scored a 9.4
Yeah.
points. I
Well
mean,
deserved. Well deserved.
he
This kid
was
is amazing.
yeah,
Amazing.
he
You
was
know.
all over the place. He was all over the place. I think we had a little preview of him in the European championships with England. But right
Mhm.
now, this kid is playing in the highest level. I can say it was the Cole Palmer show today. I mean, he took the team on his back and carried the team on his back. So And I mean, when you're looking at England, right? When you're looking at England, especially the young players that they have in Jude Bellingham, and then you got Cole Palmer, and you
Gordon,
got
Anthony
hmm?
Gordon in
Yeah,
Newcastle.
Anthony. Yep, yep. You got yeah. So the thing is, England always has those talents, but they never won the big games. I
Yeah,
think that when they stop winning, it's gonna be trouble for everybody.
yeah.
When they learn not to win and then they start winning, it's gonna be trouble for everybody. But they have the talent. They have the talent, and this kid, Cole Palmer. So for viewers right now, please Google him, YouTube him, and start watching Chelsea because of him. This
No,
kid is for real.
no, it's a great player. He's a playmaker. You know, his style of play. You know, it's like right behind the the forward,
Hmm.
and you know the kid has great ability with the ball. You know, he has the character. He can pass. He has a strong mentality. You know, dribbling, scoring goals. Long shots. So it's for me it's one of the best at his position now in the world. And I'm just surprised that Pep Guardiola let him go because I think he could have helped that team. He's a graduate from Manchester City Academy,
Hmm.
and but I think definitely this kid has a bright future, and like you mentioned, when you look at England's the English talents, so there's so many great players that they have right now. But I think like you mentioned, it was the Cole Palmer show. You know, he was the best player for this game, hands down, and that's good. And like I mentioned, Chelsea, it's I like watching Chelsea, and the reason, like I told you, I don't think there's a few teams that are playing so well right now in the world. If you take Liverpool, Chelsea, you're talking about the best teams actually now in the world. And like I mentioned, playing with two pivots in the midfield, it's so entertaining to watch. And one thing I was looking at today, it's like I was as Cole Palmer leaving the field, and then you have Joao Felix, which is another talent coming in. It's just to
Yeah,
show you so many players
the
that they
depth, the
have.
depth,
And
yeah, the
yeah,
depth
the
of the
depth
team.
of the squad is it's amazing. I think Enzo Maresca has a great team. You know, they can go really far this year, but wait until they get more maturity. I think this team is the future.
Yeah, so when you were out a little bit, one thing that I believe that every time you have a young team like that, right, they
Hmm.
wanted to have some success, right? And when they deal with success and how they deal with success, because a lot of times a young team when they playing really well and then they don't know how to handle success, they can go up and down. Right? It's like a roller coaster. So I
Hmm.
think this year, and then I think having getting that success early in the season is gonna tell a little bit about how mature they can get. So going in the second phase of the season, which is after the holiday, the breaks, and then if they can make some and if they can bring some vets into the team, during the January transfer season, I mean January transfer window, and bring some vets, and then those guys, those young guys, they can just get some more maturity, and then this is the perfect season for them to build up a great team and watch out for Chelsea in the next couple of years.
Yeah, definitely. And then one thing I would say, this is Cole Palmer year. If you look at so many individuals accolades that this guy got this year, he's
Yeah.
England Men's Player of the Year, he's Chelsea Player of the Season, Premier League Player of the Month in April and September.
Yep.
So he's part of the Premier League fan team of the season So, like I mentioned, it's been a great year for them. The only thing I would say about the Chelsea team is the sloppiness sometimes that they have in the back, and
Hmm.
I think that's something they need to fix. So, I think it's a great team, and then definitely they need a right back because I think what's his name, Caicedo, he's helping in that position, but it's not his
Yeah,
main
it's
position.
yeah,
So he usually they couple them with Enzo in the midfield,
in
but
the middle.
yeah. But again, it's amazing to watch to watch that team. The way they are growing, a lot of talent. And it's amazing to see.
Yeah, they're fun to watch. That's for sure. They're fun to watch, and and if you remember the Chelsea of the you of the old time, with John Terry, DJ Drogba, and Hazard, when those guys were like a playing and a high level. So we want that Chelsea back. We want to see it back. Because when those teams are good, it's good for the league and it's good for the Champions League. The level of soccer is very high. But like I said, the one thing about young team, it's the biggest thing is how they deal with success. Because when you're very young, you can the success can get to your head, and let's just like Enzo telling his girlfriend that his wife that he wanted to be single. We're not getting into rumors and stuff like that. But anyway, so that's a sign of immaturity, right? It's just like
Yeah.
sometimes how you deal with success when the world knows that, hey, you this guy, and how you deal with it. But anyway, one of the things that we want to start doing in our show is we kind of started earlier this year. No, early not earlier this year, like a couple months ago. It's go down in the memory lane. So I'm gonna play a little video here, and then I want you guys to tell me what you guys think of this player.
Oh my God! Wow! Look at this. That's his first goal with Barcelona. Look at this against Bilbao. Oh my God! Look at this. The Elastico. Oh my God! So fun to watch this guy play. Look at this. The Elastico again. That's his signature move. That's crazy. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. So talented. Oh wow. Oh my God. Unstoppable. Look at this.
So we went down to memory lane and Ronaldinho. Oh my goodness gracious! I mean, it brought some it brought some memories, man. I mean, just to looking at. I mean, all right. Let me talk about Ronaldinho. Ronaldinho for me was the most talented player that ever graced the football field. I did
Yeah.
not know what's his name that played with Pele. I can't think of
Garincha.
his name. Huh?
Garincha.
Garincha.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did not watch Garincha play, even though I grew up watching Diego. Diego was for me, it was just like a god, right? But what Ronaldinho brought to the game was the joy. And he played with so much flair. I don't. You don't have to be a fan of Brazil. You don't have to be a fan of Ronaldinho. If you're a fan of football, you love football. You have to love that player, and also the smile, the joy that he played the game. I
Always happy.
mean, always
Always happy.
happy. So it's so funny that I I played with a couple of friends in the league on Monday, and you know, but And some of the people were asking me, obviously, I'm up in age right now, but I always say the one thing that I love about soccer. When I play soccer, it makes me be a kid again. So when I play soccer, I don't care about what's going on in the world. I just became a kid again, and I have that joy to play the game. And when you're looking at Ronaldinho, even that the video that I show was a game that he just played for Barcelona Legends, right? And he's 45 years old. He's our age, and you can see that even though he was playing, he was still a kid. It was
Right.
still a kid, just the way he plays and the way he enjoys the game. So, I mean, for me, if this guy had half of the discipline that Ronaldo has, I mean,
Oh,
this
Messi.
guy will, or Messi, this guy, I mean, I still think that Messi is gifted, right? Messi,
Yeah,
even though Messi is
very
disciplined,
gifted
but
man.
is very gifted. But I'm talking about half, Ronaldo is very disciplined. I mean, I always tell people Ronaldo is the kind of player that you want to emulate because he works hard, he disciplined about the game. He's just like a Kobe Bryant, right? They know that they have to be at the best to play the best, and the ultimate professional. But
Hmm.
when you're looking at Messi, Messi is gifted, right? Is just like it make it look so easy. I mean, Messi walks half of the game, but in 2 seconds, in 3 seconds, Messi can create something, and you'll be like something magical. But when you're looking at Ronaldinho with the talent that he has, with the flair that he played the game, I mean, he's the reason YouTube became relevant when it comes to soccer because of Ronaldinho, right? Because we're watching all those Ronaldinho YouTube clips, and this guy was unbelievable. So that was my opinion of Ronaldinho. I'm gonna let you talk about Ronaldinho.
No, Ronaldinho, that's the player. I guess if you grew up in the '90s, that's late '90s, the 2000. That's the player all kids want to emulate.
Not late 90s, man. It's more like
He started,
2000s.
yeah, he started with the Copa America, if you remember.
Yeah, but
And
it was still Ronaldo. It was still
yeah,
R9.
it was
Because
still Ronaldo, but
late 90s, the World Cup was in 1998. That was Ronaldo World Cup, man.
yeah, that was the Ronaldo World Cup. But
So
I would say
Ronaldinho was
right
more like
after.
2000. Yeah,
Yeah,
2000.
right after. Yeah, Ronaldinho. The amazing thing about Ronaldinho, like you mentioned, you can see a lot of players. They play their position. They're very rigorous. They have individual talents, but Ronaldinho is a spectacle. So when you watch a game of Ronaldinho, it's the magic that you're going to see. And for him, smiling, he get in fouled, but he still smiled, and it's, that growing up, that's the player I wanted to be because Ronaldinho it's like since he made that first goal against Venezuela for Brazil, it's been one of the I would say one of the greatest players we've seen. Unfortunately, after he got the Ballon d'Or and go into the World Cup in 2006. So he start changing, I guess, his lifestyle, get the best out of him, and then now, even though he was so, I would say, in the Bible when they said you have John the Baptist and then you have Jesus coming after. It looks like in Barcelona that was the same thing. You have Ronaldinho that prepare everything, and then Messi just come after him. So Ronaldinho for me is very talented. That's the reason it's called the Wizard. That's his nickname, and for a reason because this guy is magical.
Yeah, yeah, it was magical. It was unreal.
Still,
It
if you
was.
look at some games, some
I mean,
games
I
he
mean,
played.
even he playing like futsal when he plays futsal.
Yeah, even no,
Yeah,
even not too long ago, 2 weeks ago, I think in your video, if you look at
the Barcelona legend, the free kick.
yeah versus
Yeah,
the free kick, look, he doesn't. lose a bit of it, he's still the same magical player that we know. Ronaldinho, for me, it's unfortunate that this guy, I think he could have done more in soccer. But like I mentioned, after 2006 and then going to 2009, when he left Barcelona, he's a different player, less focused, but definitely, a great player to remember.
I mean, it's unfortunate that when you're looking at Ronaldinho, right, and when you're
Mhm.
looking at people like Ronaldo and Messi, think about it. Messi first World Cup was 2006, right?
Correct.
And 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 if Messi plays in 2026, that would be 20 years of us watching Messi in the World Cup, right? And
Hmm.
when you're looking at Ronaldinho played only two World Cups.
Correct.
Ronaldinho played in 2002. That was its coming up party, but it was still Rivaldo's team. It was his
Correct.
coming up party. And then the year that he was supposed to take the team, on his back was 2006.
2006.
And then he just blew that World Cup. And next thing you
Yeah.
know, he was not in the
The same
2010.
player. Yeah.
It was not in the 2010. I mean, they didn't take him in 2010
No.
to South Africa. So when you think about it, it's unfortunate when you see like people like Ronaldinho, another player like Riquelme. Like we only watched Riquelme play in one World Cup. It, Riquelme only play in one World Cup, man. I mean, Redondo. That's another player that
That's
only
another
play in
player.
one.
Yeah.
That's another player that only play in one World Cup. So, so that's why for us as fans, we can say all we want to say about Messi and Ronaldo. To be able to enjoy those guys for so long is such a blessing. I mean,
Yeah.
think about it. If Messi play in the next World Cup, that would be 20 years. His first
Most
World Cup was
likely. Most likely.
2006. His first World Cup was 2006. And then for him to play in the 2026 World Cup, it's unbelievable to see a guy to play that long and then at the highest level. So that's why for us, you know, I think our generation is the luckiest generation that we ever seen because we got to enjoy. Think about it. We got to watch Maradona play, Platini play, Del Piero play, Baggio play,
No, no,
and
so many players. I
and
think
then
we're almost there.
after that we went. I mean, think about it. We had Rijkaard, Gullit, Van Basten. You kind of mentioned about Marcus Roos. He was named after Marco Van Basten. So we got to see all those players play. Then the next generation, we had Zidane, we got Henri, we had Ronaldinho, Ronaldo, and then we got Messi. We got Ronaldo. It's crazy. I always think that we are the luckiest generation, and every sports. I mean, think about it. We got to watch both Michael Jordan and
And
LeBron
LeBron
James.
James. Yeah.
you know, we
Same
got to
thing
watch.
in same thing in tennis, right? Same thing in
Yeah,
tennis.
yeah.
Federer,
Andre
Nadal,
Agassi. We got to watch Andre
all
Agassi.
those
Yeah,
players, and same thing in American football, if you would say, right?
yeah. So
There's so
we got
many.
to watch. We had to watch
Tom Brady.
Brady. Yeah, we had to watch Brady. But when you think about it, you have to watch Brady. We had to watch Deion Sanders. Emmett Smith, because those guys were in the '90s and late '80s.
Yeah. Correct.
What's his name? The receiver, Randy Moss. We got to
Randy
watch
Moss.
Randy
Yeah.
Moss, and then we had to watch Rice. I mean, I always think that. I mean, when you're looking at the young kids today, like especially my son, he's watching everything on YouTube and stuff like that. That the fact that we got to watch those guys play live, I
Mhm.
think that we the luckiest generation ever. So again, Ronaldinho, we love you. Thanks for all the memories that you give us, and keep smiling, man. Keep smiling, keep playing. Even though you're a bit older, but you still give us joy. I mean, just watching the video, I got so much joy to just watch it, right?
Oh yeah.
And that's what we were expecting to see with Neymar, because Neymar kind of showed that kind of flair, and I hope that we don't have to do a memory lane with Neymar. That we still got 1 or 2 more years of Neymar when he can still play at the high level.
Hopefully.
Because when he was playing, he's also it's fun to watch too. So,
Yeah.
uh, but this is great. So that's one thing that we're gonna start doing. And please, guys, if you're watching us, please drop in a comment if there's a player that you want us to discuss when we go down to the memory lane. Uh, uh, please let us know. We probably take a vote. Maybe we can prior to the episode, we take a vote and kind of ask, those are the 3 players, which one that you want us to talk about, and so we can have fun with it. So that's what this show is about. To kind of talk about soccer, talk about what makes us love this game. And Ronaldinho was a gem, right? He was a guy that make us love the game. He make me love the game, even though he played for the enemy, but I still love him. But he played for Barcelona. That's why I love him. So other news. Joe, you want to tell us what's going on?
Oh, you have today Botafogo. They won their third Serie A in Brazil, so it was a nail biting, season. If you think at the last minute they were able to win, and Palmeiras come as second, and like I mentioned, Fluminense almost dropped to the second division. But I think it's very interesting to see the Brazilian top flight league. It's very interesting, and Botafogo. I think it's worth noting that they win their third championship. And then also, we didn't talk about a few things that happened in Europe, but I guess we'll talk about later, maybe on another show. But also in La Liga, Real Madrid, they were able to get closer, if you want, to Barcelona after
Mhm.
the win over this weekend. And Mbappe finally scored and seems to play a decent game for Real Madrid.
Yep.
Barcelona, NC Flick got his first red card.
Yep.
And it was a game. If you watch the game, you see that Barcelona is about to win, but at the last minute, it slipped away from them with that equalizer from Real Betis. So it was fun, entertaining weekend of soccer all
We
over the
got
world. And
Atletico Madrid had a four
yeah,
three
that's
games with
another game
Sevilla.
we didn't talk
Yeah.
about. And yeah, Sevilla
Griezmann.
almost got away with it, but
Yeah.
Griezmann, right?
Play a good
Very
game.
reliable player, and then at the end, scored that fourth goal, and it's 4-3.
Hmm.
On the Premier League, you see what happened with Manchester United, another loss. We talk about the Premier League. In the Serie A in Italy, Juventus almost got their first loss for the season,
Hmm.
but they were able to get back to a draw with Bologna. So many interesting games this weekend, and we have some upcoming Champions League week matches this week, and another week of fun soccer.
Yeah. So that's the beauty of this month, right? It's we at the right time of soccer. Obviously, we're gonna have Christmas break coming up. When some teams gonna take some time off, and we're gonna have the January transfer window. That's gonna be interesting time. So, and then we're gonna come back again in the Champions League, better and stronger, which is the second phase of it. Those are the times that are very interesting. So, like I said, we got a lot going on. There's a lot going on, and we got topics. But for some of you fans or viewers watching us, please, we if you guys love the memory lane, we love to hear from you guys to see, what players you would like us to cover, and we'll do the research and get some videos and kind of bring you back to memory lane. Until then, guys, thank you, Dr. Joe, for your time tonight. It was fun. I had a great time. We discussed some great
Me too.
topics. Please drop a like or drop a comment on those lives. And like I said, we're on Facebook. We're also on YouTube. And then we got some big news coming up. So hopefully we can share it with you guys in the next episode. Dr. Joe, thank you.
All right.
Appreciate you. So
Thanks,
have a great week.
Yeah.
All right. We'll talk soon.
All right.
Imagine stumbling upon a treasure trove that transforms your whole perspective on style and elegance. That's the feeling the latest collection from Excalibur Shops promises. Each piece, a blend of superior craftsmanship and contemporary trends, invites you to redefine your fashion journey. Experience the joy of discovering your new favorites in the new Arrival collection. Why wait? Buy now and let your style reign supreme. Embrace this adventure in fashion and see for yourself how each piece elevates your wardrobe with unmatched sophistication and flair. Happy shopping.